What's up, guys? Welcome to this video. We wanted to just break down the Ruck Trainer and how to install certain things. We realized that we kind of just like send these to you guys and we don't really tell you how we install it and how we break it down. And we've done so many at this point that it's almost second nature for us, but we want you guys to understand how to break it down and how to reattach certain things. So one thing that I know that when I was going through selection, the bag was always attached to this frame. So it was daunting to me to think about taking off the bag and then adjusting everything in the ruck. So I'd always hear people talking about you should adjust your rucksack to fit you, you should make tweaks and all that stuff, but I was afraid to because I didn't know how to do it, and I was afraid that if I undid something, it wouldn't go back right and then I would be screwing myself over. So now you guys, one of the added benefits of having the Ruck Trainer is you get it without the bag on it, so you could see what it looks like underneath. And all the bag does is attach with clips through these slots. So they're just folded over pieces of nylon that they shove through these slots, and then they pull. Once you add tension to them, they won't come back out until you fold it back in. So once you understand that, you could just pop the bag off through these slots on the side, and then you're left with this. Now this is the important part, because now you could start adjusting your Ruck Trainer and your rucksack to fit your body the best. And one of the ways to do that is by flipping this lower back waistband, the lower waistband, upside down. This is something that we learned from Tom, that he used in Ranger School, and that a lot of the guys in Ranger School used because they thought it was more comfortable. Is it going to be best for you? Maybe not, but it's an option and it could be better for you. So you need to know how to do it. The way to detach the lower waistband is as follows. All you have is a strap like this. You're going to run this strap through, take it off, and then do the same thing 4 times. So just give it a little pull to release the tension, pull it out, and then the strap will come out through the frame. Do the same thing on this one. Again, the key is to take your finger and push up, releasing the tension on that buckle. Take your thumb, push up, releases the tension on that buckle, and then you could just feed it out through there. And then your lower waistband detaches as follows. So there's multiple things you guys could do with this lower waistband in order to make it adjustable and fit to you. And the first thing is height. So it's super important where your waistband fits on your body. There's a reason that these webbing is spaced 1.5 inches. If you go to your frame, you're going to notice that this is a 3-inch center to center separation. 3 inches from here to here. You don't want that on your webbing because then you can't adjust it. So if you go to a two buckle on the frame, it's 1.5 inches center to center. So that gives you the option of moving it down or up into one of these slots. That's a full inch of adjustment depending on your height. So if you want it lower, go to the bottom 2 holes on the sides of this frame. If you want it higher because you're shorter, like myself, then you're gonna go up to the top 2 slots on this frame. So that's one point of adjustment. The other point of adjustment, and again, this is coming from Tom from Ranger School, that they like to use, and honestly, personally, I like to use it myself, is that you could flip this waistband upside down. So what are you gaining from flipping this waistband upside down? Well, this huge arch that happens in the lower waistband is going to be a point of support for your back. So where do you want that support? You could either have it higher, lower, flip it upside down and have that going along your tailbone, along this bottom arch, or flipping it and having it go up in the upper support of your back and then having it protrude upwards instead of downwards. That makes a huge difference in feel of the rucksack. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it upside down and then reattach it, and then I'm gonna attach it to the higher 2 points because I'm a shorter guy instead of the bottom 2 points. So let's reattach the lower waistband and take it from there. So we're gonna place it underneath like so. Pick whether or not I want it higher because I'm shorter, or if I want it lower. And then take these straps and just run it through the hole just like that. And then feed it through the inside of this buckle, up through and then out the back side. So it's gonna make a loop just like this. And then you're gonna tighten that loop up, just like that. Leave it about there, and here's a trick that most people don't know about it. You're gonna run don't just leave it and then pull it here, and I'll show you why later. It's very important that you run it back through the frame. Don't tighten it too much, because then we got to do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to come to this side, run it through the upper on the outside. You could also run it through the center and then back through, doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. All right, so then we'll run it through the outside, go to the top one, run it up underneath the bottom, through the back, and then through the front, like so, making a U, and then pull it tight, and then make sure you run it back through the frame. Again, we'll tell you why later. Now run this one, same thing, through here. Outside, connect it through your buckle, inside, make a U, outside, run it back to the frame. Give it a little tension. Same thing with here. Run it through the frame, reach through, outside, inside, grab it, pull tight, run it through the frame. Okay, so now you got it going through your frame, give it a little tug. And most people might think that that's tight enough. That's definitely not tight enough. Now here's the key to getting it super tight. You're gonna take your frame and put it on the side. These frames are meant to bend. You could bend them as hard as you possibly can. These frames get a bad rap. They're amazing frames. The reason they get a bad rap is because they go from soldier to soldier to soldier for 10, 15 years. So much damage and abuse gets put on these frames. But you guys are getting brand new ones. So you don't have the abuse, the wear and tear. So we guarantee these for life. If they break on you, don't even worry about it. Just contact us. We'll send you a new one. We may even send you a whole new rucksack depending on what breaks. But don't worry. We'll get you back up and running because we are so confident in these frames. But one of the biggest parts about these frames is how flexible they are. You're not going to break this frame when it's a fresh, hot, new frame. So one of the things that I like about that tension is that it can create some suspension in this lower waistband. So I want you, when you're tightening it, and that's why I run it back through the frame, add some tension and bow that a little bit, and then tighten your lower waistband. So it'll pull out so much further once you add that tension. What is that doing for you? Now that you did that, it creates tension in the lower waistband like this, and that tension allows there to be some separation between your back and the frame, and it's almost like a cushion pocket for your back and your lower waistband to wrap around your lower back and make it a lot more comfortable. So always bend that and get as tight as possible. I got like another inch of pull out of that. I want it super tight, guys, as tight as I can get it. Okay, now I have nice, good, if you look at it from here, you see that? I have nice, good, solid suspension between the frame and the lower waistband. That's gonna add to your comfort exponentially. And if you really wanna lock that in and you're super worried about that loosening up on you, all you could do is take this strap, pull it out of the frame, and then run it back through on itself. So it's a pain in the butt, and as it should be, you're gonna get that in there and then pull it tight, and it'll run this strap over top of itself like that through the top part of this strap. I don't do that because I don't think it's necessary. But again, guys, if you're having any issues with it loosening up on you, once you run it back through itself, it'll never go anywhere and it'll be super tight. But personally, I leave mine with the straps ends hanging out, so I could always just push, pull, and get nice, good adjustment on it. And then there you go. Now you could see if you like, personally, your waistband sitting upside down like this or right side up, good way to adjust your rucksack. And now you know how the Molle 2 setup works. You'll be going into selection like a pro, understanding exactly how that setup is. And I promise you guys, you're gonna be helping other people in selection set up their rucksacks because you know what this thing looks like pulled apart and they don't. All right, guys, appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. Check out the new system. get a new water source. Hope you love your Ruck Trainer 2.0s. We'll see you guys next time.